Hello guys, and welcome to the Scuba Dive Online PADI Skill Circuit video. In this video we're going to teach you all 24 skills from the Dive Skills workshop. We'll show you every skill and talk over it step by step. Let's get started with skill number 1, the equipment assembly. Put your tank up and check whether you have an aluminium or a steel tank. If you have an aluminium tank, keep in mind to add extra weights to your weight system because you're going to become more buoyant at the end of the dive. Then we're going to check our hydrostatic test and visual inspection. Also check the O-ring and make sure there's no cracks in it. Next we're going to put on our BCD. Wet the BCD first so your strap becomes more flexible. Turn the O-rings towards yourself and slide your BCD on there. Don't forget to also secure your safety strap. Secure it tightly. Turn your kit towards your students and make sure everything is in line. Next we're going to grab our regulators. Open the dust cap. Make sure your SPG and LPI go on the left side of your BCD and both regulators on the right side. Now we're going to connect the valve to the first stage. And connect the LPI. Once connected, make sure everything is streamlined. Before opening the tank, turn down the SPG. Press the purge button of your regulator and slowly open the tank. Now we're going to test the primary regulator. Smell it. And take a few breaths. Look at your SPG and make sure your needle is not moving. Now repeat the same process with your alternate air source. Smell and breathe. Remember to keep everything streamlined. So we're going to tuck away our alternate air source, and it should be somewhere between your chin and rib cages and the triangle that forms. Streamline your SPG, and now we're going to test our BCD. Fully inflate your BCD, deflate a little bit, orally inflate, and check all the dump valves. You should have one on your shoulder, one in the back, and often one in the LPI. Double check everything is where it's supposed to be, and if you're not using your tank straight away, put it down on the floor so it won't fall over. And that is our equipment assembly. Let's move over to our equipment disassembly. First of all, start with closing the tank. Now release pressure by purging your regulator. Double check if it's empty on your SPG. And disconnect your LPI. Take off your alternate air source and also your SPG. Once everything is loose, you can take your first stage off. Remember to blow dry your dust cap and put it back in place. Tidy away your regulator by making 2 hoops and putting it to the side. Turn your BCD so your students can see the straps and open up the buckle. Undo the safety strap and slide your BCD off. Again, if you're not using your tank straight away, put it on the floor so it doesn't fall over. And that is your equipment disassembly. Skill number 2, our pre-dive safety check. BWARF. Start with BCD. Inflate the BCD. Check your dump valves. Orally inflate the BCD. And check the dump valve on the LPI hose. W. Check the weights. Make sure it's a right hand release. And then check the releases. While you're checking the release in the back, also check if the tank is fully open. You're going to check air by breathing from your primary while your body checks if the needle stays in place. After that, your body checks the alternate air source. Smell the air and then breathe. Tuck it away again in the triangle between chin and ribcage. And we're going to check for the final OK, that we have masks, fins and everything we need for our dive. Now you check your body. Inflate the BCD. Check the dump valves. Ask your body to orally inflate. And check the dump valve on the LPI hose. Check the weights, right hand release, and then check the releases. While checking the buckle in the back, make sure the air is fully open. Check the air while your body is breathing. Keep an eye out on the needle of the SPG, that should not move. Now check the alternate air source of your body, smell it, and then breathe from it. And tuck it away safely again. Final check, mask, fins, good to go. And that is your pre-dive safety check. Skill number 3, the deep water entry. Put a little bit of air in your BCD, put your regulator in, and hold on to it while holding on to your mask. Check if the water is safe to enter. Put your hand on your weight belt and look straight ahead. Now make one big step. Soon as you surface, fully inflate your BCD until you hear that it's fully inflated. And then switch over to your snorkel and give the big OK to the boat. Skill number 4, buoyancy check on the surface. Switch to your regulator. Take a couple of normal breaths. Take one final breath and hold that breath while you deflate your BCD. Stop kicking. And now you should float on eye level. Now exhale slowly and you should sink a little bit. Come in the normal ascent position and return back to the surface. Once on the surface, fully inflate your BCD and switch back to your snorkel. Skill number 5, snorkel to regulator exchange. Start with your snorkel in your mouth. Take a couple of normal breaths. Now switch while blowing bubbles. Exhale and resume normal breathing. We're going to switch again. Blow bubbles. And give a big exhale out. Now resume normal breathing. I'm going to switch back to the regulator. Bubbles. Exhale and resume normal breathing. One more time to the snorkel. Big blast out and resume normal breathing. Skill 6 is our 5-point descent. We do this according to the acronym SORTED. Step 1, signal to go down. Step 2, orientate on the surface and underwater. Step 3, switch from your snorkel to your regulator. And step number 4, check the time on your dive computer. Step number 5 is descent while equalizing. Descend slowly, remind your students to equalize, and come in a neutral position. Make sure you do not touch the bottom. Show your students that you are leveled, and return back to the surface in a normal ascent position. Once back on the surface, fully inflate your BCD until you hear that it's fully inflated, and switch back to your snorkel. Skill number 7 is the regulator recovery and clearing. Here we're doing it stationary. If you want to get 5 points on your skill circuit, you need to do it neutral buoyant. Take your regulator out, blow bubbles and lean to your right side. Touch your knee, slide to your bum, from your bum to your tank, and now stretch your arm and make a forward movement. With your other hand, you will now find your regulator on your arm. Purge the water out and resume normal breathing. Now we show you how to get 5 points on your regulator recovery and clearing. Become neutrally buoyant. Take a breath, put the regulator out, remind them to blow bubbles. Lean to your right side, touch your knee, slide backwards, move your arm forward, and with your other hand find your regulator. Purge the regulator and resume normal breathing. Skill number 8, mask remove, replace and clear. Same rules apply. To get a 5, you need to do it neutral buoyant. First, fill your mask with water. Slowly take your mask off. Show that your nose piece is pointing in the right direction. Remove any hair out of the way. Put your mask on your face and then slide the mask strap down. To clear the mask, put 2 fingers on the top of your mask. Look down. Make an upward movement while blowing out through your nose. And now your mask should be cleared. Next, we'll show you how to score a 5 on your mask, remove, replace, and clear. Become neutral buoyant. Fill your mask with water and take it off slowly. Make sure the nose piece is pointing in the right direction. Remove hair out of the way and place the mask on your face. Slide the mask strap down. To clear the mask, place 2 fingers on the top of your mask, look down, make an upward movement while blowing out through your nose. Skill number 9 air depletion exercise and alternate air source use stationary. Ask your dive master to turn off your air. Now look at your SBG and resume normal breathing. As soon as you run out of air, grab the alternate air source from your body. Make sure the mouthpiece is facing downwards and you're blowing bubbles. Purge the alternate air source and signal that you are out of air. Give each other the Roman handshake. Signal that you are now okay and that you want to go up. Grab the LPI and pretend that you are swimming to the surface. Once you cut the exercise, ask your dive master to open your tank again. Double check at your SBG. Recover your own regulator. Remember to blow bubbles when you switch. And place the regulator back by your buddy. Skill number 10, alternate air source assisted ascent. Locate your buddy's alternate air source. Move it over the arm, mouthpiece downwards. Switch while blowing bubbles and purge the regulator. Signal that you are out of air and make contact with the Roman handshake. Signal that you are now okay and that you want to ascend. Hold on to your LPI, look up, and slowly ascend to the surface. Make sure you stay leveled with your body. Once on the surface, your body will help you up while you orally inflate your BCD. After successfully oral inflation, place the snorkel back in your mouth. Skill number 11, the free-flowing regulator breathing. Take the left side of your regulator out of your mouth, tilt your head to the right side, and purge your regulator. Now resume normal breathing while sipping air from the free-flowing regulator. For comfort, you can hold on to the side of your mask. After you've cut the exercise, remind your students that the skill needs to last for 30 seconds minimum. Skill number 12, neutral buoyancy, rise and fall using the low pressure inflation. Today we're doing the fin pivot. Make sure there's no air left in your BCD and lay on the bottom. Take a deep breath in and see if anything happens. If not, add a little bit of air to your BCD by the low pressure inflator. Again, take a deep breath and you should now slowly rise up. Start exhaling and you slowly fall down again. Inhale to rise and exhale to fall down. Keep in mind that your body needs a little bit of time to respond to your in and exhalations, so make sure you time them well. Skill number 13, the 5-point ascent. We do this according to the acronym STELLA. Step 1, signal to go up. Step 2, check the time on your dive computer. Step 3, elevate your LPI and arms. Step 4, look up, make sure it's safe. And step 5, slowly ascend to the surface. Keep in mind, don't ascend any faster than 80 meters per minute. Once back on the surface, fully inflate your BCD until you can hear it's fully inflated, and then switch back to your snorkel. Skill 14, the Controlled Emergency Swimming Ascent, the CESA. Start off by getting in a neutral position. Add a little bit of air to your BCD and become leveled. Now raise your LPI and raise your right hand. Take a couple of normal breaths. Signal that you're out of air and take your final breath. Now start swimming slowly while making a continuous ah sound. Show that you are continuously breathing and swim slowly. At the end of the skill, remind your students that they have to swim for 9 meters. Skill 15. Orally inflate BCD to hover for at least 60 seconds. Take a breath. Take your regulator out and blow bubbles. Now inhale in your LPI and switch back to your regulator. Don't forget to purge. Now take a deep breath and you should start rising. Resume normal breathing and get in the hover position. Show your students that you are now leveled and that you're holding your arms. Remind them that they have to hover for 60 seconds. At the end of the demonstration, empty your BCD and return back to the bottom. Skill 16. Underwater swim without a mask. First, become neutrally buoyant by adding a little bit of air to your BCD. Show that you're leveled. Fill your mask with water and slowly remove it. Put it around your arm so you can't lose it. Continue normal breathing. Keep one hand in front of you and one hand below you so you can guide yourself. Resume normal breathing. At the end of the demonstration, show them how to replace your mask. Make sure the nose piece is facing down, the hair is out of the way. Place the mask on your face and slide down the mask strap. To clear the mask, push with 2 fingers on the top of your mask. Look down, make an upward movement while slowly exhaling through your nose. That should clear your mask. Skill 17. Remove and replace weight system underwater. Make sure your BCD is fully empty. Open your weight belt with your right hand release. Take it off and keep it close to your body. Show that the buckle should be in your left hand and pass the belt behind you. Hold it in one hand and check that nothing is entangled underneath your belt. Now lean forward a little bit and close the buckle again. Double check if everything is in the right place and your weight belt is replaced. Skill 18. Remove and replace Scuba unit underwater. Double check that there's no air left in your BCD and start unclipping from the top up. Open your chest clip, open your shoulder straps, go further down and open your belly buckle. Now the left arm comes out first and gently push the tank around towards your right side. Follow the hose of your regulator, take both arms completely out and show that your kit is now off. Take your right arm in first and push the cylinder down. Keep your right hand on the cylinder while you slide your left arm into your BCD. Now start from the bottom up, close your belly buckle first, secure the arm straps, and close your chest strap. Check that your LPI is not entangled, that your SPG is where it's supposed to be, and that your alternate air source is underneath your arm. Check your primary regulator and you're good to go. Skill 19. Remove and replace Scuba unit on the surface. First lean back and open from the top down. Undo your chest clip, loosen your arm straps, go further down and open your belly buckle. Your right arm comes out first. Gently push your kit around and both arms come out. Make sure everything is open and easy to access. Gently push your kit underwater and ask your students to look down. Now sit on top of the tank so you can lock the cylinder with your knees. And now you can slide both your arms in through your arm straps at the same time. Slide in there and ask your students to look up. Back on the surface, secure your belly strap first. Tighten your arm straps. And close your chest strap. Check if your LPI is not entangled, that your SPG is there, your alternate air source under your arm, and your primary regulator over your shoulder. 20. Remove and replace weight system on the surface. First, switch to your regulator. Lean backwards. Open your weight system with the right hand release and pass it to one hand under your knees. Keep it close to your body and make sure the buckle is in your left hand. Ask your students to look down and again pass the weight belt under your knees. Slide it up. Now lean forward. Check that nothing is entangled underneath the belt and secure the clip. And return back to the surface. Skill 21. Surface dive while skin diving. Take a couple of normal breaths before taking one deep breath and removing the snorkel. Now duck down as vertical as possible and show that you're equalizing. Raise your hand above your head and slowly ascend. While back on the surface, take a couple of recovery breaths and place the snorkel back in your mouth. Skill 22. Disconnect low pressure inflator. Push your left hand palm on the deflator button while your right hand palm goes over your hose. Push them towards each other while disconnecting the connector with your index finger and your thumb. Skill 23. Resecure a loose cylinder band. First, let your buddy know that there is a problem with his cylinder and wait. Get behind the tank and put your knee on the bottom of the cylinder. Make sure the cylinder is straight while you re-secure the cylinder buckle. Check that it's centered and aligned before closing the actual buckle. Double check that it's secure, and now alert your buddy that he's good to go again. Skill 24. Perform an emergency weight drop. First, switch to your regulator. Now fully deflate your BCD and keep kicking so your head stays above the surface. Tell your students to look down and undo your weight belt with a right hand release. Let go of it in one smooth movement. Return back to the surface and show your students that you are now neutrally buoyant. After you've proven you're neutrally buoyant, orally inflate your BCD. And switch back to your snorkel. And that is a full PADI Skill Circuit.